Hello, this is Patrick Botticelli with Colonial Airstream in Lakewood, New Jersey. Behind me here, I have a brand new 2016 Airstream Flying Cloud 28A. 28A distinguishes a floor plan which has rear twin beds. This trailer is 27 foot 11 inches. That's from the center of this ball to the very back bumper. And the overall height of the trailer to the top of the air conditioning unit is 9'9". That's from the ground to the top of the air conditioning. Trailer is also 8 foot 5.5 inches wide. That's the actual shell of the trailer is 8 foot 5.5 inches wide. The interior width is 8 foot 1 inch, and the interior headroom, that's from the ground to the ceiling, is 6 foot 7.5 inches. So it's very generous headroom inside this trailer. The tongue weight, the hitch tongue weight, is 976 pounds. That's unloaded without luggage. Obviously, that could either be increased or decreased depending on how you load the trailer. The unloaded vehicle weight rating without any additional options is 59.79, and the gross vehicle weight rating is 7,600 pounds. And you can put 1,621 pounds of cargo inside. It has a 39-gallon freshwater tank, 37-gallon gray tank, and a 35-gallon black tank. That is your toilet waste. It has a 15,000 BTU air conditioning and a 30,000 BTU furnace. You have 60 pounds total propane, which is two 30-pound bottles. This is one of my favorite floor plans. I really like the rear sleeping. So let's take a look inside and see how this is laid out. Okay, when you walk into the trailer, you have a very large lounge area, which converts to a 44-inch wide by 80-inch long bed, which we'll take a look at later. Your galley is across from the dinette in the center of the trailer. And you have a dinette that folds into a 42-inch wide by 76-inch long bed. You have a refrigerator and wardrobe in the middle. It has a split bath where the shower's on one side of the hall and the bath is on the other. And you have rear twin beds sleeping. These twin beds are actually 34 inches wide by 78 inches long. So if you compare that to a queen bed, which Airstream uses as 75 by 80. I'm sorry, let's step back here for a second. 60 by 75. So that's 60 inches width. That means each person shares 30 inches. This particular configuration, each person gets 34 inches of width of sleeping, so you do get more sleeping surface. You have a little nightstand back here, full extension drawer glides, 7-pound J-latch to keep the door shut when you're towing. Rear panoramic windows. Also, this back window opens all the way out. It's also an emergency exit, so it has red handles that you pull, twist, and lift. And then you pull the screen out to exit the trailer in case of emergency. Has a directional LED reading light, speaker under the roof locker on either side. Has a radius curved plywood with laminate upper cabinetry with hardware that has a spring tension to either keep it closed when you're towing and help assist lift, and these are adjustable. This is all pocket hole screw construction, so there's no staples in any of the construction of the cabinetry. It's all pocket hole screws, a very tight joint, and it's all plywood with laminate, no sticker wrap or no particle board or MDF in any of the construction on an Airstream travel trailer. Curtains are on a curtain rail. You can slide across, and there's Velcro strips to keep each panel together, and they're double lined, so it has an outside lining as well as an inside. The bedding comes with the trailer. This interior decor is called Golden Night. So it'll be this bedspread with these decor pillows and this color countertop. And then the ultra leather color is cashew, but you could also pick black ultra leather. You have pillow top, memory foam mattresses, very high quality, thick mattresses. On top of a Luan board. Below, there is storage. Premium hardware here, adjustable hinges, detachable as well. Plastic bin included on this one. And there's 2 extra storage compartments on this side. There's also a furnace duct in the bedroom. And then there's space between the mattress and the wall. So if you didn't want to be close to the window, you could actually slide the mattress down just a little bit to buffer yourself from the wall there. At the foot of the bed, we have an inverter outlet, which is standard for 2016. It gives you 1,000 watts of electricity for 4 dedicated outlets throughout the trailer. And we also have a regular electrical outlet cable. Hooks up to this TV, which has a strap you could pull down. And has articulating arm, and it's adjustable in angle as well. You have ocean air roller shades throughout the trailer. Really darkens the trailer quite a bit for privacy. You have a fantastic fan which has a rain sensor, motorized lid, variable speed control, and thermostat built into it. Also has a quick release screen, so if you wanted to clean the dust off the screen, you just pull down on this part here, this little loop, and it will release the screen so you can clean it off. There's a shirt locker at the foot of the bed with hanging wardrobe rod. Look at the edge here. I really like the detail. Instead of butting 2 pieces of plywood laminate together that you could chip the corner, this is a solid piece of oak here. Premium handles here. On the curb side of the trailer, we have another locker, but this one has shelves built into it. This area is gapped as well, so you could store things in here. This would be a nice place for folding chairs. You have LED lights in the bedroom, and there's a light switch with a dimmer. It has directional ducted air conditioning system. You could also shut off particular vents if you wanted to. So there's 2 vents total in the bedroom. Ducted air was a huge success on the 2015 model year launch on all the wide body trailers. For 2016, Airstream decided to include all the rest of the family of the Airstream trailers except for the Sport 16J and 22FB Bambi models. You have a comfort control center in the bedroom, which allows you to control your air conditioning, heat pump, fan blower in the air conditioning, and the Foresight Air propane furnace system, all from this control. You could turn it on and off for here. This is a single zone trailer, but you could get an optional second air conditioning, which would delete the fantastic fan. You could set a clock program, you could change your temperature, you could see what your inside temperature is, and you could change from Fahrenheit to Celsius. We have a carbon monoxide detector in the bedroom. Another ocean air roller shade. Look what you could do. If you wanted it partially, you could hook it under the handles, the hardware that you would use to lift the window. You could hook it underneath, or you could go all the way down. To open the window, you just pull the 2 chrome handles, twist, and lift. And then once you get to your desired height, there's 3 different grooves you can snap into on both sides. Just be careful on a windy day how high you have the window open, and also be careful when you're walking around the outside of the trailer. Make sure you don't smack your head on one. These are tinted safety glass windows. For privacy in the bedroom, we have an accordion privacy shade that's behind this flap here that you could pull across and clip in. And that will give you privacy inside the bedroom. We have a skylight in the bath with shade. Tempered glass shower door. Satin nickel frame. This is a 2-piece fiberglass shower enclosure with a 2-inch overlap for the seam here for the bottom. Has a grip on the floor. Has a little ledge that goes over the wheel well, but you could use it as a seat. Has a clothesline inside that will allow you to hang a wet towel and lock this in place, or a bathing suit. Has a vent line fan which you push straight up, push the red button, and that will vent outside. Has an LED light with a light switch outside. Premium fixtures here. Detachable shower head. Once you get your desired temperature, you could pause it and then turn it back on once you're ready to rinse off. And for the shower door, there's a magnetic strip that keeps the door shut and a little safety latch to prevent it from popping open when you're driving. In the bathroom, we have a regular bathroom door. It is a hollow core door. Regular hardware, residential hardware. Bathrobe hook here on the back of the door. There is air conditioning inside the bathroom. You have 2 different LED light fixtures. You can shut one element off on each one. Then you have a master ceiling light control switch on the wall. Another vent line fan, push straight up, push the red button. That will exhaust out. Have a fixed mirror, but then you also have a medicine cabinet type mirror. Little ledge here for storage. Towel bar. You have your water heater control. This has the XT water heater, so it gives you 9 gallons continuous hot water using only a 6-gallon reservoir. See, what it does is it preheats the water before it brings it into the tank, and then it superheats it to about 140 degrees. So you could turn on this tap on the hottest setting and run 9 gallons continuous hot water before you run out. And it is electric and gas, so you decide which one you want. The red light here will indicate a misfire if you're using the propane side. If you ran out of propane, had an air bubble in the propane system, this red light will come on to warn you, to let you know that it did shut off. Regular electrical outlet in the bathroom, which is obviously GFCI protected with a main reset inside the trailer. You have a hand towel bar, storage below the sink, furnace duct, toilet paper holder, storage next to the toilet over the wheel well. You have a porcelain bowl, Dometic toilet, foot pedal, partially will fill the bowl, all the way will flush the bowl. Very spacious hallway. This is a very wide area. You have a mirror here, and then there's a hidden wardrobe behind this flap. See, what the flap does is it hides your accordion privacy shade. You have one for this side of the hall too. But if you pull this one more time, there's a wardrobe back here, which has a light inside, hanging wardrobe rod. I have the awning stick stored in here, and then you have an access panel for the shower faucet as well inside this compartment. Below there is furnace ducts and the wheel well. You have a 7 cubic foot automatic 2-way Dometic refrigerator, separate freezer, refrigerator portion. There's air cards built in, so after you're done traveling, your refrigerator is going to be damp inside. If you turned it off and just shut the door, you open it back up in a couple weeks, you have a moldy refrigerator. You clip on these little air cards here, and that will leave a gap to allow airflow inside the freezer and refrigerator. There's a separate one here, and then when you're not using them, they just clip on and become a little divider. Just turn the refrigerator on, you just turn it on. It's going to check to see if we're plugged into electricity. If we're not, it's going to run on propane. So right now we're on automatic mode. It knows we're not plugged into electricity, so there's a little dot under LP. It's going to try to ignite on propane. It's going to try several times. If for some reason you're out of propane or you do not have the propane turned on, instead of flashing the inside temperature, it will flash the letters LP to warn you that the refrigerator did not ignite. You could also manually change it from electric to gas, or just put it back on automatic and it will figure it out for you. You can change your temperature setting 1 through 5, 5 being the max. There's a little cutout here for a taller container. Little guards here in the front, which keeps your items from sliding out up against the door. There is storage above the refrigerator, and there is a power converter charger. This converts AC to DC, charges your battery, houses your breakers, your GFCI reset, and all your 12-volt fuses. Everything's labeled here or here. There's also, in battery charge mode, which is automatic, there's a little fan that will kick on in here to cool this compartment off. We have another furnace duct here. The dinette area, we have the Casio Ultra Leather, which I mentioned before, fire extinguisher, magazine rack, you got key hooks. On the International Signature and Serenity model, there is Vista View windows here. On the Flying Cloud, they give you 2 extra cabinets, which are very generous space. There is a light over the dinette. You have 2 more ocean air roller shades. These 2 windows do open. Just use caution if you open this one and you open the entry door. Be careful not to swing it all the way around and hit the glass. You have a 28-inch LCD LED television with a regular electrical out as well as inverter outlet next. So you decide, if you're not plugged into electricity, you could run this TV off your batteries using the inverter for 3 to 5 hours. This is in a fixed position, so it does not articulate. This is a little bit too large of a television that you'd want a moving articulating bracket when you're towing the trailer. It could potentially come loose or fail and come off the wall. So it's in a fixed position for the safety. There's storage below the dinette. There's electrical outlet, cable outlet, and then there's a little black button here. And what that is an antenna booster. So there's an antenna built in on the roof. It's an omnidirectional antenna. In order to get signal from that antenna to the televisions, you'd have to turn the actual antenna on. If you hook into cable at a campground, you literally hook right into the cable inlet on the outside of the trailer, and you'd make sure this is off. Because if that was on, it would distort your signal and give you squiggly lines through your television. Also, with that on, it's using 12 volt, so it could potentially drain your battery if you're not plugged in. Another storage compartment here. And I like how the dinette is elevated off the floor, so the actual material does not touch the floor. It's on a pedestal. So if you're sweeping the trailer out or you're mopping the trailer, you're not getting this wet or you're not brushing up against it. Dinette table, this area folds down and makes into a bed, so there's actually hardware on the wall and there's rails here that the table will lay on. So what you do is you lift the table up and then you're going to get it out of its little clips here on the wall. And then once you have it out, you're going to press the little button here and fold the leg up, and then the table will swing down. Then you can just grab the 2 cushions here. They're Velcroed in. And this area makes into a bed for additional sleeping. Very easy. I did that with one hand, really no effort. Lay a sheet on top. Get some bed pillows and you're set. I love how Airstream does all the stitching on their cushions. And then it has a zipper on the bottom. And then this little plastic here is what they use to get the actual foam cushion inside. See, they hook this up to a vacuum machine. It sucks the cushion in really tight. They slide it inside, take the vacuum off, and it expands out. Okay. Fold this back up. Again, I'm just using one hand at this point. I'm going to get the leg down. And then I'll just swing the table up and hook it right into its little hooks. Make sure it's secure. And it is recommended to leave this table up when you're towing. Don't leave it down. In the kitchen area, you have a spice rack, you have a light over the cooktop, you have a ventilation fan, there is a louver that has to be open on the outside, heavy duty grates here for large pots and pans, 3-burner, front is your high output, so you just pick which burner you want on, hit the spark over to the right, and that'll ignite each and every one. Whatever one you have the gas flowing through will be the one that ignites, and then you could adjust your temperature. You have a cover here, which lifts straight up. Gives you additional counter space. Also, if the burners are still warm, will protect if kids are walking by. You can hang a towel from this bar here. You have a convection microwave, which is just like a regular microwave, but in convection mode, it's like an electric convection oven. So it has an electric element on the bottom, which will glow cherry red, and there's a fan inside that will circulate hot air over your food, which will bake and grill, and you could roast inside of it. So you decide which mode you would want to put on. Most popular option on this model, you could get it standard with a gas oven, but most people love to have both a microwave and a convection in a trailer this size. You have additional storage below. Instead of having the drawers exposed to give you a clean, modern look, you open this door, then you could open up your drawers from behind. Again, full extension drawer glides here. Wooden box construction. Silverware organizer comes standard. And a generous amount of space underneath the kitchen sink area. This has a bypass in it currently, but it does come with an inline water filtration system, which will filter the water for this faucet here in the galley. This is a premium faucet. This is a Moen residential faucet, so it's not one of those RV catalog plastic faucets. This is residential quality, has a very high duty cycle, comes with a separate sprayer off to the side, and this steel queen sink. This is a thick gauge stainless steel. I've seen some other types of RVs. You drop a fork inside the sink and you get a dent in the bottom. Not with this one. This is very thick. And then there's a cover on top, which you could also use as a cutting board if you wish. Electrical outlet above. Another LED light. Another ocean air roller shade. And then in the galley here we have your tank monitoring system, which allows you to monitor how much battery voltage you have. And you also your freshwater tank in percentage. Gray waste tank. And black waste tank. Gray is your sink and shower waste, and your black is your toilet. But on this model, the bathroom sink also dumps into the black tank. And that's not such a bad thing because you usually have toothpaste and you're spitting in that sink, so it's mixing with that black waste instead of your gray, which is just your shower and kitchen sink. You can turn your water pump on and off from this area here. And what the water pump does is when you're not hooked up to city water, you could fill a 39-gallon freshwater tank up with water and then turn the pump on. That will pressurize the system. So every time then after you turn a faucet on, it will feel a drop in pressure, and that demand pump will kick on to give you water pressure. Then once the system is pressurized again, when you shut the faucet off, it will shut off. Never leave this switch on when you're driving, and it's not necessary to have it on when you're hooked up to it. A city water connection at a campground. We have a skylight in the galley with shade. Your intakes for your ducted air conditioning system are here. You have more air conditioning vents. There's 4 here in this galley area. You have another fantastic fan with a rain sensor, motorized lid, variable speed control, overhead roof locker with additional storage here in the galley. The inverter we talked about is a pure sine wave, 1000 watt. To turn it on and off, there's a button here. It's a remote button, so you don't have to physically go to the inverter and turn it on. And then what that will do is when you're not plugged into electricity, it will take your battery juice that you have stored, invert that into electricity up to 1000 watts for this outlet here next to the TV, one in the bedroom next to the television, one up here next to your Blu-ray, and then one here by the entry door with the blue stickers on. Lounge area. Underneath the lounge we have a propane leak detector. We have some storage here. Storage here comes with these large plastic bins. There's also storage on the side here for folding chairs. We have a battery disconnect switch so we could turn on and off the battery system when we're not using the trailer. Just in case you forgot to turn off a particular system or light, this will, rest assured, shut everything down. The only thing that will run at this point is your propane leak detector and your electric hitch jack. Also, when charging the trailer, you want to make sure this switch is turned on to use first before you plug the trailer in, so you actually take on a charge. And I always leave the switch on when I'm towing the travel trailer, and I have my alternator will be charging the batteries when I'm towing as well. You have some light switches here for the exterior. One is for a step light and one's for a porch light. We have your ceiling light control with dimmer switch. And then new for 2016, Underneath the awning, on the actual body of the trailer, is an LED light strip, and you could turn that on and off and dim it from here as well. Black grab handles, new for 2016. All they did was change it from white to black, change the color. Behind the lounge here, we have blanket storage. This is a very deep storage compartment. Goes down about 14 inches. Your panoramic window in the front with 2 directional reading lights, 2 more speakers, just like in the back of the trailer we saw. Little 18-inch window here by the lounge. Again, pull the 2 handles, twist, lift, snap into your groove. Make sure your windows are shut before you start towing the trailer. Make sure they're locked, secure. I'd go through the trailer and check every one of the windows before I leave the campground. You have a regular outlet behind the lounge here. Vista view window up above with the shade. Smoke detector. Little microphone here for the stereo because you can sync your cell phone or smartphone with it, and you can do Bluetooth, and you can answer telephone calls using the remote control in the stereo, and that will be your microphone, and you'll hear the other person's voice through the speakers. You have a Blu-ray player which is hooked up to both televisions. You decide which TV when you turn on the menu inside the television, if you want to use the Blu-ray or you just want to watch television at the campground. You have USB charge ports here. And then there's a USB port that hooks into the back of the stereo here, which plays CDs. This will play DVDs and Blu-ray. But this is how you plug your iPod or music into the stereo. And then we talked about the inverter outlet earlier, but both the Blu-ray and some of these other devices could be switched over and plugged into that inverter outlet when you're not plugged into electricity. This area becomes a bed. This slides out. It's on heavy-duty rollers. It supports a generous amount of weight as long as you're not jumping up and down on it. Then you could take this backrest here and lay it down. Take this one away, and then you have a very large, generous sleeping surface for 2 adults. And there's enough room to get by if someone wants to get in and out of the entry door with this out. But they are separate beds. On some of the 25, 27 FB models, the lounge and the dinette are combined into one large bed surface. This, they are separated. Hope you folks enjoyed the interior walkthrough. Now we're going to take a step outside, and I'm going to walk you around the outside features of the travel trailer. Okay, outside we have heavy-duty stainless steel wrap protectors, which come standard on all the models except for the Sport 16J and 22FB, with a heavy-duty piano hinge on it. 3 nuts you can remove and swing these out to clean leaves and debris out from behind. The reason why this is gapped here is to allow some deflection if you hit some debris in the road, so it won't dent your aluminum body behind. And this is stainless steel. This is a lot heavier and thicker than the aluminum body. We have solar stone guards. These are stone guards that protect the front glass from shattering if you hit any rocks or kick up any rocks when you're driving. It will hit this Lexan material and flex. It is tinted as well. The middle one opens with these 2 tethers here, and you lift it up, and once you get it to your desired height, you spin the knurl knob in place, and then you could open up your window from behind. This piece is removable, taking a Phillips head screwdriver, turn a 1/4 turn. This will swing out, and then it has a slip hinge that all you do is lift it off, and you can take this, lay it on the ground, clean your glass really nice, and then put it back up. It's very important before you ever tow the trailer away to make sure you have these tethers on to prevent this from flipping up when you're towing. Heavy gauge box frame. This is not a C-channel frame. You've got your VIN plate here on the battery box. This battery box was increased in depth by a couple inches this model year, which leaves room for people to put larger batteries in or 6-volt batteries in at a later date. You have electric hitch jack up front to raise and lower the height of the trailer. You have a light outside so you can illuminate this hitch area at night. You could calibrate, once you get the trailer level, you could tighten these screws and calibrate the bubble so it stays in the middle, and then you'll know you're close to level each and every time you park at a campsite. This cap comes off, and there's a tool inside the trailer. You can manually crank the trailer up and down by hand, just in case you did have hitch jack failure and needed to get home. You could do so. The hitch jack has a fuse. It's a 30 amp slow bow fuse inline, hooked right up to the battery. And then you have a coupler lock which slides forward and lifts up. 2 5/16 inch ball you'll need to tow this, and it has 11,500 pound safety chains that will hook to your vehicle in a crisscross pattern. You have your trailer breakaway cable. If the trailer's ever to come loose from the truck, this will pull out, activating the brakes in the trailer to prevent the trailer from passing you in the shoulder. Never use this as a parking brake. It could be nothing but harmful. You could burn the magnets out on the trailer brake drums, or once the battery discharges, the trailer brakes are going to come loose and the trailer will roll down the hill anyway. Spare tire is mounted in a cradle underneath. It's a full-size spare on a steel wheel. There's a little pin here that you pull straight up, slide this one across, the arm drops down, and if you need to gain better access, just lift your electric hitch jack up a little bit higher to get to the tire easily. All LED running lights on the outside of the trailer, LED step light. This trailer has stabilizer jacks, all 4 corners, so there's a tool with a 3/4 inch socket on the end which you crank down your jacks to take the bounce out of the walk. It's not meant to level the trailer, it's not meant to lift the trailer off the ground. Also, the underbelly of the trailer is completely enclosed in aluminum, riveted together, nice and tight. It's also insulated too. There's a foil wrap insulation underneath the plywood floor, which has a marine anti-wicking substance painted to the whole perimeter. So if this area got wet right here, you had a pouring rainstorm, you left the screen door open and the water came on top of the floor and rolled underneath, it's not going to wick it through. It'll actually repel it and drain it back out. Entry door has a screen door with all TIG welds here. Beautiful craftsmanship. I love the entry door. I actually have one at home just because I consider it a piece of art. Heavy duty cast aluminum hinges, belt line protection, rub rail protection on the bottom, heavy duty deadbolt lock, and the entry door handle is also heavy duty, keeps the door shut while you're towing. Also has a window in the entry door which is tinted. The screen door snaps in place. This fills the gap, and you can see the stainless steel hinges, 6 rivets on each hinge, grip tape here on the bottom. Check out these welds. They did a great job putting this together. This is an extruded aluminum structure for this door. This is very secure. Airstream also adds this piece here. It's a little tapered area, so if you're sweeping the trailer out, it won't hit this lip. It'll actually bring the debris outside. And then there's extruded aluminum gutter rail on the top of the door, so if you have water, rain coming through, it's going to hit this and roll down the side instead of coming down right in front of the entry door. And what I love the most is the sound of the door slamming. Try it out on some other brand trailer, you'll hear a difference, you'll feel a difference. Bifold entry step tucks away nice and tight when you're towing. Outside GFCI protected regular electrical outlet. Goodyear ST225/75 R15 load range D tires. These have the Never Lube hub system, so this is a sealed hub assembly that eliminates the need to repack wheel bearings. And then it has the Never Adjust brake system, so they are self-adjusting drum brakes as well. That's another Dexter item. Make sure you check your lug nuts and the torque before you travel. Also check your tire pressure. 65 psi is your recommended tire pressure on this travel trailer. Exterior is aluminum with a baked on clear coat, Alcoa aluminum. Make sure you clean the bugs and debris off the front. Also, if you're towing in road salt, get that off immediately. It is recommended to put Woolburnized wax on once or twice a year to seal and protect the exterior. You're not buffing the trailer, it's just a sealant protection. LED porch light here. Storage compartment. When you get the twin bed model, you get 3 exterior storage compartments versus 1 on the Queen, which is called a 28W Flying Cloud. W stands for wardrobes. You'll have 2 wardrobes on either side of the bed. This is insulated, weather seal, lockable, diamond plating on the bottom. There's also a light inside this compartment. And these latches, when they close, it holds it very, very tight in place, so you don't have to worry about water infiltration. Awning, this is a zip tee awning. Sunbrella material, metal wrapped. The tool that was in the wardrobe, I just brought it outside here. There's a wheel lock on either side that you twist. And it sits in a little cup up top here to keep it tight when you're towing. But we need to undo that partially to pull the awning out. It's also a twist lock here in the middle. And another wheel lock on here on the end. Once you have that released, you're going to grab the strap in the middle and pull. And once you get that in hand's reach, drop the stick, pull it down by hand here. It's spring loaded, so this thing's going to want to go right back up. So you got to make sure you hold on to it. And then what I do is I walk down to the end, holding it the whole entire time to prevent it from going up. And once you have it down, this is what it's going to look like. And this device here is the rafter arm, just sits loosely on a perch here. This has to snap in right at the end of the roller wheel. Most people make a huge mistake and put it here. That's a big no-no. You will damage the awning. It has to snap in at the end of the roller wheel. And then inside here, there's a spring, and this metal tube slides inside of this metal tube, and this little pin sits into little notches. So what we're going to do is we're going to load all the tension on the awning when they go up in this heavy-duty rafter arm. So all we're going to do is pull straight down on this. See that action? Give it a little bit more of a yank. That locks in place. Now that's holding the awning up, and it's going to leave less tension on these lower arms when we lift the awning. Very important step. Do not forget that. If you bend an awning arm, you know exactly what happened. There was a step missed up here. Same thing on this side. Snap it in, lock it. Now we have the awning secure. We're going to lift it up. Now, you know, at this point, I did have the entry door shut. It is very important to leave it shut until the awning is fully lifted up. There's a little rhyme I want you to remember. 4 at the door. See, there's 4 little height adjustments here when you lift this up. In order for the door to clear the awning, this has to be at the highest setting. So 4 by the door. The back one you could have tilted down. And to make life a little bit easier, the straighter you keep this, the easier this will glide in and out. These are square tubes, so if you start pulling this really hard and trying to lift the awning up, they're going to bind each other, so keep it square. This rolls up nice and neat and sticks into a little pouch here. I'm going to skip that step for now. Hand on the end of the roller, undo the little knurl knob here, pull it straight out, lift up, and there's your awning fully assembled. Do not leave it out in a heavy, windy storm. If a thunderstorm's coming through the area, put it away, bring it back out later on. And here is that LED strip, light strip underneath the awning, which I turned on from the inside. Beautiful glow at night. Will not attract insects either. You have some reflectors here in the back corner of the trailer. Beautiful, handcrafted, cast aluminum taillight housings, LED lights, rear bumper storage with diamond plating inside, polished aluminum rear bumper with protection caps on the end, little bumpers underneath the back frame here to protect the trailer, license plate bracket with light, another storage compartment. This rear one is a generous size. You can put a lot of items inside. Has a light inside as well. Weather sealed, insulated, just like the other one. Rear window awning. I love these window awnings. They do shade the trailer quite a bit, and it does add a unique characteristic to it. This one velcros up the little strap, and then instead of locking it with rafter arms, there's 2 arms here that sit in little cups that lock it in an up position. And then when you're done, just lift it straight up. Metal wrapped, protects it when it's rolled up, not exposed to the element. Side one, instead of Velcroing the strap up, it actually sits here on a hook. And there's a lock mechanism that you could use that awning tool I showed you before, or if you could do it by hand, you just twist that in place. Keeps it locked. Another storage compartment here. This compartment is lockable just like the left, insulated, weather sealed. The key that this particular trailer uses is a RS-141 key. Just stick that in, twist, lift. Another storage compartment, perfect for hitch bars, extra waist hose, blocks of wood, wheel chocks. We have your waist hose storage tube. Once you're done with your waist hose, after you hook it up, take it off the discharge tube, instead of putting it in the back bumper, you could slide it right into here. Keeps it separated. Have a dump station light, which illuminates this area at night. And then once you get set up at the campground, you take this cap off. Don't pull these handles yet, you gotta wait. Hook up your waist hose, snap it on. It's always a good measure to empty your black tank first, so this pulls straight out. That will discharge the waste out of the black tank, which is solids. Once you're done, you can close that and then open up your gray, which is your shower and kitchen sink, and that will flush out your waste hose. To take it one step further, Airstream adds a sewer flusher to this trailer, which is clearly labeled here. Do not use the tank flush valves unless fully termination valve is open position. Basically what happens is if you hook up a garden hose to this connection here and don't have that black tank open, you're going to fill the tank up and you're going to have water overflowing the toilet as well as through the roof vents in the trailer. So you just take this cap off, hook up a garden hose here. After the black tank is open, there's a sprayer inside the tank that will get all that residual waste off the walls and out of the trailer. Good to exercise that particular connection after each and every trip. Not every time you empty the waste tank, but after you're done with the trip, you're going to put it in storage. Make sure you flush your tanks. 39-gallon freshwater tank. This is a little compartment. 751 key opens it up, and you stick the hose loosely in the fitting, and that will fill the tank up. There's a drain between the axles here. There's a little valve up top you twist, and that will drain down the tank. Then you have your city water connection. See, when you go to a campground, you can hook it directly into their water pressure, and what it does is it does not fill your fresh water tank. It just supplies water to all your faucets based on their pressure, and it has a water pressure regulator built into it, which protects the plumbing inside the trailer from high unexpected water pressures. So you just hook the hose. We give you a white hose, a 25-foot drinking hose here at Colonial Airstream. We do give you a lot of other accessories that most people would buy anyway. They are included when you buy from Colonial Airstream. There's a refrigerator ventilation compartment. Do not store things in here. This is a hot combustible possibility compartment. There's a roof vent, which naturally allows the hot air to flow behind the refrigerator. Some other models and different floor plans have 2 of these vents with fans that would run. This model does not. You have your 30 amp power cord connection. It's a Marine Co. twist lock. It's a 30-foot power cord that comes with the trailer. That will power everything inside the trailer without being plugged in. If you just use battery, inverter, or propane, you can run everything except for the air conditioning and the microwave. You have your cable and satellite connection, so you can hook in coax cable from the campground here, or a portable satellite dish right in, and then bring your receiver from your house, plug it inside the trailer, and now you have satellite. Outside utility shower, this has hot and cold water outside. There's a 751 key that opens this compartment up. There's a little wand in here they can hang up here. And then you do have ability to run hot and cold water outside. This is the furnace exhaust area. Do not park the trailer next to a pile of leaves here because you do have exhaust coming out here. This is a forced head air propane furnace. That trailer also has heated tanks using the forced head air propane furnace. There's ducts throughout the trailer, and then there's ducts that go down into these tank chambers. See, that's not the actual tank, that's a chamber that goes around it. And the furnace blows air down through into the tank chamber and circulates that air around the tank to prevent it from freezing. Gives you a 10-degree threshold protection. So it's not down to like 5 degrees, roughly 22 degrees and above, you should be okay. Cooktop ventilation system, these are the little latches. that you would close when your trailer's parked or when you're towing, but you need them open to vent the trailer when you're using the cooktop. Down here we have the water heater access, the exterior access compartment. Really not too much to do here, but you want to know there's a drain plug here in the bottom left corner. This is the burner element and the exhaust and a pressure relief valve. Please don't store anything in this compartment either. And Airstream does sell a stainless steel upgrade kit where you could take this door and have a beautiful stainless steel exterior water heater door. This is the standard door that comes with the water heater. That's, I think, looks great just as is, but you could dress up the trailer a little bit more. Then you have your tire pressure information, your secondary VIN plate, and tire size, rim size, all this important information here, as well as the manufacture date of the trailer. This side we have a propane quick disconnect port. We give you a hose that you can hook a low pressure barbecue grill up to. Once you get that collar slid back and that little cap off, you turn the little valve on and off, and that will give you propane flow for an external grill. Trailer has a 7-pin connection. It's 6 spades and 1 round pin that hooks up to 99% of the vehicles today have the factory tow package. And then this is a very confusing port for some folks on the internet. I read a lot of threads here on Air forums, and they don't understand what generator prep means. Literally all it is a secondary power connection. Remember the one we had here on the side that you could plug into a campground? Well, they put a second one up front here, so if you had a bed mounted generator, you could plug it right into the trailer for a convenience item instead of having to run the power cord along the ground. So it's not a compartment for a generator, it's not an actual generator, it's literally a second port. Now this will get deleted if you order the second air conditioning with the 50 amp service upgrade. So this is not available if the trailer has 2 air conditionings. Beautiful aluminum bottle cover here. They got a little guard here in the bottom so you don't have sharp edges. Up top here, we open up the little hardware, and that gains us access to the propane tanks, 2 30-pound bottles. And then we could undo this little wing nut here and lift the bottle cover off, which will release the clamp so you could take your bottles out. And then you could switch from left to right bottle here as well. And it does have an automatic switch over. Both bottles are on, and the propane lines are bled for both sides. I like to use one at a time so I visually know when that turns red that that particular bottle's empty. I'd shut that off, turn this side on, turn it over here, run this side, and I could take this one out and get it filled while I'm running on that side. I do like to do it that way, but everybody has their own style. Up top of the trailer, you can see here we have the radio antenna, fantastic fan, skylight in the galley with shade, air conditioner, refrigerator vent. Behind that we have your shower fan, and then on this side we have the toilet area fan. This is all aluminum roof, has a white coating on it which protects the trailer from UV rays. It actually reflects the sunlight, keeps the interior temperature down about 70 degrees, and allows a great adhesion point for all the seals around all the holes in the roof. And I have a separate video on how to walk on the roof of the trailer, so you might want to check that if you decide to get up on the roof of your Airstream trailer. Just make sure the trailer roof is dry and you have rubber-soled shoes, otherwise it could be very, very slippery. This is Patrick with Colonial Airstream in Lakewood, New Jersey. Our website is www.colonialairstream.com, and our telephone number is 1-800-265-9019. This trailer is available here at Colonial Airstream. I love the opportunity to talk to you about it. Please like this video, comment, share, subscribe. I'd love it. I'll see you soon.